right, we're back with the Mod Golf Podcast. Thanks for joining us again. My name is Colin Weston. I am the host of the Mod Golf Podcast, where we speak with the entrepreneurs, the innovators, the disruptors, and the influencers who are shaping the future of golf. We are at the PGA Show 2024 live here at the Media Center, and I'm spending some time meeting some people that I met minutes ago, and the gentleman to my left happens to fall into that category. Some people we're going to have on here I've known for years, consider good friends, and everybody in between. So today, actually, we have Jason Deese. So did I get that wrong? Jason
Deese, you got it.
I got it right the first time, and I didn't see. It's like a golf swing. I didn't commit to it. I questioned it halfway down, and then I ended up in the water there. Jason Deese. So very interesting. So Jason is, I met him today when I was talking to my good friends at the booth with Golf Genius Software, who have been an unbelievably kind sponsor and partner and supporter of the Mod Golf Podcast for, 4 years now of our 7 years. And they've been amazing with what they've done. So I was introduced to Jason today, and he is the founder of Flash Weather AI. And really, hear your story, of course, Jason. Not starting out in the golf industry, not really looking at all the good work that you're doing to predict weather and storms, but I always love how these partnerships come along and new opportunities for entrepreneurs and ventures and new markets and segments reveal themselves. So before we get into how you're now in the golf industry, stuck in it like I am here, it's a good thing, though. I'm not going to scare you off here. It's a good thing. Take a deep breath. Give us the backstory and tell us about yourself and the company.
Sure, yeah, appreciate you having me on today, but I was as far from the golf industry as you could get. I was stuck in the government sector. I was a government employee, worked for the National Weather Service as a research meteorologist for 21 years, doing research on severe storms, lightning initiation, what were the conditions that led to the first lightning strikes within a storm.
Right.
40% of all injuries and deaths occur with those first few lightning strikes. And so I had 4 kids, 2 girls who played softball, and I was just tired of them being put in harm's way. I was always the dad going out on the field and saying, we're not doing this anymore, taking them off the field. We had these archaic, waiting 30 minutes after the last rumble of thunder.
Right.
Those rules, and I knew we could do better. I knew that we could pair algorithms that could predict lightning with this new wave of deep learning and AI that was coming along, and we could transform how we were protecting our youth. So that's where all this started, and so it was really a passion of mine. I left the safety net of the government.
Right, that's a big leap.
It was a huge leap.
It took a lot of courage.
It did. Nice push job, and went for this entrepreneurial route. But I knew the only way that we could see the light of day of this safety solution was to do that, and so we went out and started with other industries, youth sports, schools, aviation. We're big into aviation, doing pilots with Delta and United Airlines right now with our proprietary lightning prediction. It tells you lightning when and where it's going to occur out to an hour. But now we're starting to transition into the golf industry as well.
Interesting. So I take it your background, you're a meteorologist, is that correct?
I am.
Okay. So I'm assuming, just like me, I'm an architect by training, so I don't have a background in AI. Your company is AI fueled. So tell us about this, because with entrepreneurship, it's hard, and quite often as entrepreneurs starting out, you think you have to do everything yourself. I know you have limited resources, but it really is about the power of partnership. So I'm assuming that you either met someone or you already had a good friend or that had that strength in AI, or maybe you just hired that. So tell us about that. How did you recognize early on kind of the gaps you needed from a technological standpoint and even from a business case standpoint that you brought all that together and made that happen to take the first couple of steps with the company and the venture?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I was just a science nerd. I mean, that's what I was. I mean, I didn't really have the entrepreneurial aspect, but I knew I could grow into it. And I mean, I was watching Silicon Valley on HBO is where I learned everything.
Love that show.
I know.
Love that show.
And so I knew I needed a little bit more than that. So I did. I put myself together with people who knew more about the space than I did. Friends of friends who had been in the entrepreneurial world who could guide me. But slowly I started to learn it myself. And then, through partnerships like the one we have with Golf Genius, partnering with people who in the industry, who know the industry, I could bring AI and weather to them, and we could do something great together.
Love this. Okay, well, this segues nicely into my next question. Is how did you meet? I don't know if it's Chris Kellmeyer with Golf Genius Software. How did that come about? Did they find you, or did you find them? Because I know they're always on the search for partnering or acquiring other companies that dovetail nicely into what they're building. So tell me about that. Tell me about the kind of the first date you went on with Golf Genius Software and how that went.
Sure. So it started last year when we came to the Super Show here, and
All right.
we started going around and talking to different ones. And so I guess this is a lesson for entrepreneurs. But I went by the Golf Genius booth maybe 3 or 4 times, and they were either busy at the time or I didn't get the right person. And I was about to head out for the week, and I said, you know what, let me give it one more shot. And I went by there and I talked to the gentleman I needed to talk to. He saw the vision. He said, you know what, we need this. And so started talking to them, and that's where a partnership was born. So I mean, it's that tenacity aspect. You never know what's around the corner for you, and so that's really enabled us to take off not only from the golf perspective, but other industries. They recognize who Golf Genius is, and they say, if you guys can partner with them in golf, you guys are doing something. So let's talk in these other industries.
I love that. So yes, resilience, tenacity. You're going to get told no more than you get told yes. We have to have pretty thick skins as entrepreneurs, but congratulations. I applaud you for going back a third or a fourth time. So I want to ask you this. A lot of times with entrepreneurs and having products, and here either at the show or just the work that I do, even outside of the golf industry, I got people approaching me all the time, either for angel investing or whatever it is, and they just launch into a pitch, and the pitch quite often just talks about the features of what they're doing rather than them asking questions, listening to find those gaps and the pain points that their potential customer or partner might have, and then being able to explain the benefits that you're offering rather than the shiny features that you assume people want. So tell me about that. What was it that they found the alignment, that was a gap that they saw, okay, there's a business opportunity that augments what we're already offering our existing clients and perhaps even potential new clients?
Sure. I mean, I think it's a combination of things. I mean, I think you do have to connect as an entrepreneur from the personal side. And so, when I tell the story about my kids and where this was born and what this came from, and that it's a passion of mine, that, when they see that passion, that really hooks them into, this guy's invested in this. And, he really knows the stuff. He really is about the safety aspect. But then you've got to roll it into the, what is this good? How's this going to make money for them? How is this going to be specific to this industry? How is it going to, not only for golf, but in these other industries, how is it going to fit into that? How is it going to monetize? How are you going to scale this? So you have to be ready for all those answers. So I would say personalize it on one level, but also have your facts on the next level of how you're going to monetize it.
I love that. And it sounds like you are a good listener. And rather than, you always get the time with people that keep talking and talking rather than pausing. If your mouth is working, your ears aren't working also. It has to be one or the other, one at a time.
You got that. And listening's a big part, of what I do, and listening to, even with the golf industry. I mean, we listen to, that's the first thing we do is say, talk to a golf course, and I say, tell us about your experiences with lightning. Tell us about your experiences with weather. What has been your pain points, And then we talk about our solution and how we might be able to help them. And the same goes with the entrepreneurial aspect. And so when you're raising money or the venture world, you got to listen to them first and what their experiences are, and then offer your solution.
Love this. Okay, to finish up here, since we are at the PGA Show, this is all about golf here for the 3 days that we're on the ground. How does Flash Weather AI combined with Golf Genius software? What is the value proposition for golf course owners and operators? So tell us about the journey, or let's say a storm is about to roll in on the area. Tell us about the way it is now and the way it was and what you're doing now and what the benefits, not only for safety, but also whether it's insurance, but also the other monetization pieces in the golf industry that you are enhancing and added value for.
Yeah, so a lot of what we've had in the past is, detection companies, and they're doing really good at what they do, and they tell you, that lightning's already occurred in the past, and some are offering some aspects of prediction, but we're one of the first ones to do the AI prediction. And so actually taking it out to an hour and telling you when and where out to an hour lightning is going to occur. And what it's enabled us to do is be proactive rather than reactive to the weather. And so, in other words, we have Columbus Country Club up in Columbus, Ohio. They've been using our product for the last 3 years. So it used to be lightning would occur, and they would tell all the golfers, hey, lightning's occurred, and they would have all these golfers come in at the same time.
Yeah.
Now they know lightning's coming in 45 minutes. They go to the kitchen and they say, get all the wings and beer you can ready. We've got golfers coming in.
Right.
They're making money off of our product. They're being more efficient while also being more safe with the golf course as well.
No, I love this. I love this. Well, you're doing really good things for the safety aspect and using AI for good. I like to. Well, I know you're doing that, but this is really great. So, hey, Jason, why don't we finish up there? It was a pleasure to meet you today. It's funny how it just works sometimes. Just these casual collisions and conversations that you have, and you just never know where it's going to go. That's why I love being back at the show for the third year in a row, because hey, Zoom calls are okay, and I've done thousands of them. I'm sure you have, but just being here, we wouldn't be sitting here right now having this conversation if I didn't have the chance to run into you and get introduced only hours earlier. So thank you for taking the time, and I love what you're doing. So thanks for joining me today on the Mod Golf Podcast.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Here we go. Good stuff.